Well, I've got my rod and I've got my bait. All I've got to do is sit here and wait for the big, big fish to come my way, even if it's gonna take all day. Here, fishy, 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 here, fishy, fishy, fishy. Here, fishy, 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 here, fishy, 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 fishing off the pier.
Hey, how's it going? Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're doing good. Hope you've been having a great weekend. Um, and been up to some fun things. I know I have. But yeah, how are y'all doing? Mountain Lou, thank you so much for the sub. A rare Mountain Lou appearance. How you been doing? Busy with moving, I assume. On Twitch, stop my sub. Stupid Twitch. Twitch and I have beef. Twitch has just been bullying you, man. That's so rude. I thought I had enough water in here. I may have to pause at some point to get more water. Okay. Be back soon. Busy with work for the most part. Understandable. Understandable. Work's making me busy too. I totally get it. I hope that didn't come across. I wasn't like trying to shame you or anything. I hope that didn't come across that way. Um, I just miss people when they're not around. That's all. I think it's for watching a lot during an event. Let's see. Oh yeah, the little flower thing. Are they still doing it? I don't know. Screw's pretty much freaking hates me. No, no, I didn't say this. This is false accusations. Why? Oh my gosh. Watching a stream 3 days a week, upgrades each week. Ah, well, that's cool. Don't think it's still there. I have no idea. I don't think it shows me because this is my own stream. And I've been kind of busy to watch other streams. I like poke in for a stream streak and then poke out. The birthday ones because I was busy and I'm so upset. I'm so sorry. Maybe next year. I probably won't make new ones. I don't know. Maybe I will. I don't know. Did it not count for you watching the VOD? Or like playing the VOD for an hour, at least, to get the other one? Hey, it's not my fault. I definitely have both of the birthday ones. I would never. I do want to do more events with badges and stuff. That's part of what I want to talk about today, though. I will admit I don't have any ideas right now off the top of my head for events and badges and stuff, but I would love to do more of that. It was a lot of fun, I think. Doing it on my birthday. So definitely want to do more like events and stuff. Definitely. The Ren badge for my birthday. I think it would be funny. I can only make it available to you. That's all. No. I mean, I can't do that. And no, you could do custom badges. Yeah, I think that's new. Newer, anyway. That you can have like a little event, and from my understanding, at least the ones that I could see, was if you sub during that time or do a certain amount of subs during that time. I had it set to 1 because I didn't want people paying a lot of money. Or if you watch the live stream for an hour, or more, depending on what you set it to. I set it to an hour. You could give out 2 individual badges. So, but yeah, so that's what I did for birthday. Happy late birthday! I hope it was great. Thank you. It was amazing. It was very fun. Very much enjoyed hanging out with people, and yeah, it was good. It was a good time. Hey, Lurkies, I need foods. Get good foods, delicious foods. Scribble's birthday was good. I gave them good art. That reminds me, I do need to show people the last Revenges. It's on my list for today. It's actually not on the list for today. It's in my head. But actually, I'm gonna do that first. Art fight. I wanted to show off the last minute Revenges that I got on Sunday when I was sleeping. And that are so rude because I thought I got away with it. First year's pass was fine. I disagree. I disagree, but I don't know. Some years past were very cursed, actually. So there's that. But yeah, so today is kind of a lot going on. Honestly, maybe just talking would have been the more appropriate category. I don't know. There's not a world building brainstorming category. I looked. I really was hoping there would be one. There is not. But I am going to be reading and I am going to be writing, so I feel like that was the best category. I wasn't planning on drawing, so I couldn't do art, technically. But yeah, we got a lot planned for today's stream. Lots of different things. So I want to show off the Revenges, because I couldn't do that last night since I was gaming. And then I want to talk about kind of the ideas I have going forward with stream now that Art Fight's done. I've got some plans and some ideas, and I wanted to run them by some of y'all and see if you had any preferences or suggestions or anything like that, because ultimately it's for you guys. And then we'll switch gears over, and I'll be looking at my writing, the project I'm working on for my characters, writing my book, which I've mentioned that I got a rough draft of book 1 finished and was working on the rough draft for book 2, and then I decided I needed a full rewrite, so I'm working on rough draft 2.0 of book 1. But first we gotta fix the setting, and that's basically what's gotta get done. So I'll be making some progress on that, and I would love any feedback y'all have for that as well while we're going over that. And also, if y'all have any projects that you're working on, writing, art, coding, gaming, I don't know, any projects that y'all are working on that you want to, like, rant about, talk about, get excited about, or ask for feedback or opinions, please feel free. This is a brainstorming session for more than just me. So yeah, that's kind of the intention of today's stream. So it's gonna be a lot of yapping, so I'm definitely going to need to get more water at some point, but yeah, that's the idea. So probably just talking was the more correct category, but I'm not very good at the categories, and it's too late. I've already clicked it. It's too late. I'm not changing it now. So basically... So basically, yep. I have this character. That's it. Fantastic. That's all I've got. Well, that's a start. The start is to have the character. I don't know, what do you liked most about characters, or what do you want to do with it? Do you want to, like, write a story, write a comic, write just lore with it, and that's it, and just have the little toy to mess with, basically? I like telling stories, so all of my characters come with a bonus story I want to attach to them. So that's always what I'm working on here. If it wasn't at work, I would love to develop my D&D character some, but I gotta wash dishes today. That sucks. That does suck. I do plan on doing more of these types of things, either on stream or it'll be like Discord in the co-working section, which I haven't utilized enough, so it'll be one of the two. Discord's just easier when I don't have as much energy or time, or just can't share a screen, so instead I'm just gonna work on my own and just hang. But yeah. I know this is older news and also what I talked about, but I think last time I saw you, but I had so much fun writing a story for my D&D character. I know you talked about it. I can't remember much because my memory is worse than a fish's. So if you ever, this is just in general, if anyone repeats themselves, 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to remember that you told me in the first place. Not because I didn't care, but because my memory is a sieve, and that's fine. I'm going to a doctor for it. So, but yeah. Didn't talk specifics, I don't think, don't worry. Okay, I do remember that you talked about a D&D character and working on that, but that's about the information that I remember. Might come to me if you talk about it again, but yeah. My memory is also terrible, so no worries. Good. Actually, I'm not gonna say that yet. I'm gonna bring it up later. Pinhole in that. Come back to that. Alrighty, so I want to start first by moving my mic out of the way. Hold on. Okay, I want to start by looking at the Art Fight Revenges real quick and showing off art. So everyone get ready to eat delicious, delicious art that I got at the very end of Art Fight by very rude people that attacked me when I was sleeping. How dare they? I think I showed off TIG toggles because they got me at the very end, right before I was about to leave, but because I can't remember, I'm going to show it off again. Or anyway. I'm pretty sure I showed this one off. I love this one. I keep going back to it. It's so good. It's so cool. I love how they drew the magic. I love how they drew both of them together. This is their first ship art. Delicious, delicious art. I really, really like it. I like how they did the colors and everything. The only thing that sucks, and is not their fault, because I didn't update the references, this is no longer a canon thing. There is no vambrace. It's now a dagger. That is the most sad thing, is that this art is no longer canon because of the arm there. But that it was in the reference sheet, so that's not on them or anything. That's on me. And I still love it 1000%. Delicious, delicious art. Very basic. I didn't want to overwhelm myself with the first character, but I think I'd like to do more characters and go more in depth. That's, I think, the best way to do it, honestly. The first D&D character I made was a rogue that was, like, typical rogue, like, edgy, edgelord rogue. And I never played him. It was just the first character I made, and then after that, I made the silly Hawk. And Hawk is great. Hawk is not serious. Hawk was not much of anything, with hardly any backstory. And then from there, it was kind of easier to do a little bit more in detailed characters. So Kapesk has a very detailed backstory, and Grim's a joke character, so actually Grim doesn't really have a backstory, but that's fine. Do you play D&D currently? I had been like a forever DM for a few years, but I took a hiatus because I just don't have the time, unfortunately. I spend extra time on running it because I'm extra. I want everything to be perfect, and I just didn't have time for it, so I took a break, and one of my players actually offered to start DMing a different campaign in the meantime, so we're actually starting that next Saturday. I'm really excited for it. I'm going to play Hawk. He's actually going to get a story, so I don't currently play, but I will be playing very, very soon. I'm very excited. I've been wanting to play for so long. We did a couple one-shots, though, with different characters and joke characters, too, in the meantime. See? But yeah, this is by TIG Toggle. I don't think I said that. Yeah. They hit me, like, right at the end of Saturday. This. And then this was a revenge that Rook on Heart got me. Rook Leonhart, I think is actually what it's supposed to be. Rook Leonhart. Which is Corwin, who may or may not be my favorite character from the book. Anyway. Amazing. Amazing. They were like, oh, it's just a little sketch or whatever, but it's perfect. You know why? Because they got his expressionless expression face. And what I really need to write in his details, and I will write it later, is that it's just the, like, it's a neutral autistic face. This is basically what it is. It's my face. There's just no expression, and that's not on purpose. Well, actually, it is on purpose for him, but that's lore. But anyway, I think they hit it off, and I know it's really hard to do because he's not smiling, he's not showing emotions. That is kind of his whole thing, and I love that. I love the little highlight being red, like his magic. Even though it's a little sketch, it's still very, very good, I think, and I like the shine as well. So, very, very good. And it was a revenge, how dare they, at the last minute. I thought I was safe. They didn't get me for so long. And then they got me. Delicious art. Yum, 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 yum. I will eat them all at the end, by the way. And then this one, it's me. Isn't it so cool? I love it. I love how fluffy I look. Very, very fluffy. This was by Boxrib, who I attacked at the very end. So I attacked them on Saturday, and on Sunday they had this already posted. I love the eye details here. I love the fluffiness. It's fantastic. 10 out of 10. Looks adorable. I cannot believe they did this so fast. How rude. I'm gonna have to get them back next year. But delicious art. Very good. I'll leave that one for last. I thought I was also safe with this person. This is another revenge from DL. It's me again. I was very popular this year. A lot of people drew scribbles, which is funny. But yeah, it's a me. Scribbles. But this was from DL, who I had done a little bit of a revenge chain with, and I attacked them kind of at the last minute. I think it was Friday I hit them. And I thought they were done. I thought they had other people to do, and apparently they managed to fit me in. How dare they? So, yeah. Very, very good. I like it a lot. It's a very cute little drawing. And then the last one. I thought they told me that they had too much time to revenge me, and I would be safe. Nerd got me back. How dare she? It's probably the cutest talk she's ever drawn. She also said this took her 10 minutes. Can you believe this? 10 minutes. This would have taken me at least an hour. Ridiculous. I mean, not Hawk. Hawk takes me 10 minutes, but I can't believe this nonsense. But yes. I can't not draw scribbles, though. So many good characters, but like, fluffy alien. Aw. Fluffy alien, always good. Okay, now time to eat all the delicious art. All of the delicious art. Oh my gosh, I keep doing that. Yeah. I'm just gonna keep doing it, apparently. Da-da-da. Up so that I can see you a little bit. Oh no. I've been having a lot of trouble with my pen and my mouse. I've just been straight up ignoring signals, which is really rude. Don't know why that is. Anyway, the last revenges, and I will remember this. I will not forget. I will not forgive. They will be revenged upon next year. We have to eat the delicious, delicious art. Delicious. Twitch decided I was done watching and just closed as a Twitch! What are you doing? Twitch! Twitch really does hate you, man. I don't know what it is. Oh, that's so weird. Delicious, delicious art. Delicious. Okay, I just wanted to show those off because I wasn't able to show them off earlier since I took a little hiatus. But yes, delicious, delicious art. Okay, let me pull this forward, actually. That'll be a little bit easier. No, 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 no. Now we can all grow big and strong, which is very important. Okay. And yeah, I think Art Fight was amazing this year, especially towards the end. There was a lot of back and forth, and I think that was really fun. I'm very glad I was able to get my final attack out. I don't think I showed that off because I think I left. I was trying to keep everything a secret. So I had two secret revenges that I did real quick on Saturday that I showed off on stream to Zombie and Nightmare because I happened to have a little bit extra time, so I did that. But in the background, I had one more big revenge that I was working on, which was this one that I had been working on the entire time. Big and greedy? What? No! I'm not greedy. I'm not greedy. I'm just hungry. But yeah, I mentioned it in June, I think. I mentioned that I had an idea and I didn't know if I'd be able to execute it, and I wasn't going to tell anyone what it was, but I had an idea that I was going to be working on. I actually came up with this idea like at the end of last art fight. I was like, oh, I should do something that's like a thank you to everyone that I was able to kind of attack, revenge, that sort of thing, participate in art fight with. So that was kind of my leading idea. And then with the theme, I was like, oh, it can be like a final bow sort of thing, which works really good for the theme. And so that's what I kind of went with for this one, and I think it turned out pretty good. I made the background like immediately because I knew if I didn't draw the background, it was never going to happen. And then when people revenged me or attacked me, they got a character added to here. So every time I was revenging people, I was drawing twice. I was drawing a character in here, and then I was drawing a character for their little revenge. And I didn't say anything to anybody, just posted it. So that is actually why I ended stream when I did on Saturday, because TigToggle attacked me and I realized I have to add their character at the end. I had everyone else ready to go, all set up, and then TigToggle attacked me, so I had to like rush to add this, and I couldn't exactly show it on stream because that would have ruined the surprise. So I was like, okay, I don't know how long it's going to take me to draw their character, so I have to get off stream, draw their character, see which time I have left. I was able to stay up a little bit later and finish some things there, but yeah, overall this was very fun. I don't think I'm going to do it again. I don't super love mass attacks, which is why I don't really do them. Not that I don't like when I'm in a mass attack, I just don't like drawing them. It's a lot of work, and I don't like attacking one person for everyone's character. So it's really, really weird. Unless I were to do a mass attack that's like one person and all of their characters. I think that is really cool. But I don't do mass attacks very much. And this was a lot of work, and it was a lot of fun. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a this year only sort of thing. I'll do it as like a special because it was the 10th anniversary sort of thing. Maybe in 10 more years I'll do something else special. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. I added me as well. I wasn't going to, but there was room, so I get to be there too. Yeah, anyway, I wanted to show that. But yeah, I think R5 was a lot of fun. I'm very excited to see who won. No idea who, but yeah. We'll find out. Okay, gonna switch gears here. I want to talk about kind of moving forward with stream and some plans I've got going on. I have been up to no good. I will admit to y'all, I've been up to no good. And I've had lots of ideas and lots of plans. I actually have a huge to-do list now on one of my Obsidian files, which I'm not going to show you because that would be spoilers, but I am going to talk about them in general with you, just not all the details. So, the first thing I want to tell y'all, I guess I'll write a little bit as well. That'll kind of keep me on track, is I have updated stream in kind of like in the background. I am incorporating Sammy, the bot. I looked at the different bot options for like new things that you could do on stream, and it seemed like Sammy was the best option for the most amount of things that you can do. With a very steep learning curve, and I'm figuring it out, but because there was so much that I wanted to do with it, I figured Sammy was going to be the best option. So I have it, and I've been working with it. And if you have scrolled down a little bit and seen the commands option, 2 commands that used to be run by Nightbot are now run by Sammy. And then 1 command is new. There's a new command, if you look over there. That should work. I just tested them before stream, so it took a long time. So that is the star command, which gives you a random star. Honestly, it was more annoying to do it through Sammy, and part of me thinks that maybe I should have just left it as a Nightbot thing. Because Nightbot, you just have it in like a file, your list in a file, and then it picks randomly from the list. For Sammy, I had to put it in an array, so I had to manually put in every single star option. There are over 500 star options. So it took me a couple of days to put all those in. But yeah, now it is run through Sammy. So if you do !star, you should get a fun new star that you have discovered. Which are all real. I don't know anything about them. But I think it's a fun option there. The second one is !Fursona. That was also run by Nightbot originally, and I switched it over to Sammy. That was a lot easier because there was only 120 options as opposed to over 500 options. But there's that. Congratulations, you've discovered the star Murfak. Whatever Murfak is. Murfak! As far as I know, these are all real. I stole it all from Wikipedia. Okay, it has a new name now. It's called Alpha Percy. I guess Murfak wasn't cool enough. It's mine. This is the brightest star in the northern constellation of Perseus. Congratulations. And Fursona. Mount Lu, your government mandated Fursona is a koala. That's a cruel. Not Mercy. Percy. Ah. Its new name is Alpha Percy. In the constellation Perseus. It can be lowercase too. Y'all don't have to have it. It doesn't have to be uppercase. I just want to let y'all know that. I mean, you can scream at it if you want. I'm glad it works. I don't have to cry. Ooh, your government mandated persona is a fox. That's interesting. Don't you have a fox character? Or I'm misremembering. Probably. Yeah, I added some new personas. A generic. I was gonna say I have a fox OC, though, but he's a corpse. That's right. That's right. That's a corpse. He's not really the character. That's fair. That's fair. Hey, Mary, you got a weasel. Congratulations. So some new government mandated personas, and some of which were already there. So now it's up to 150. Let me look here. What are we up to? 100 and 90, actually. I lied. 190 different personas for y'all to select from. Let's all make fox donuts. I don't know. Maybe some of them will be inspiring. You can make a persona. Axolotl is on there, indeed. So is new to Brink. So is Tardigrade. So is new to Gone, actually. Good, I was gonna unfollow if you said no. I wouldn't exclude Axolotl. I tried to get some pretty general ones. Like I looked up common ones and I was like, you know what? Let me pick some cool ones. Deer is on there, yes. I don't think I did any specific deer. I think I just picked deer. I can't remember if moose is on there as well, which is quite a deer, but it better not be. That's too late. There's deer. I'm the only deer. Okay, I'll put you in there as well. Mountain Lou. Your persona is Mountain Lou. Meese. And then the brand new command that I just added today, and I'm hoping it works correctly. Come on. There you go. Is exclamation point snack. Pickles. Close. But for that one, you'll want to do an @ for whoever you want to give it to. So whoever you're giving a snack for. I guess I should specify in the thing. Nightmare, you've discovered Arneb. I know nothing about any of these stars, by the way. All I know is I manually had to put them all into this array, and it was annoying. Man, a lot of these have new names. Alpha Leporis, you're in the rabbit constellation. The Lepus constellation. I was so close, so close. A little snicky snack for being so good. Congratulations. Ooh, a bandicoot. Congratulations, you are now Crash. So 3 new commands. I will have to add that. Actually, let me make a note that I have to add that information in the commands in the About page. Because I did add it to the About page. Add to snacks in command. About page. To put at user. You could also do yourself, I suppose, if you wanted to. No one's stopping you. Hi, Zombie, how's it going? And Blue, and Nightmare. I meant to say that. I got distracted. There were lots of personas and stars. Literally do not know what a bandicoot looks like besides Crash. Ugly creature. Poor bandicoot. You can just take the Crash version, that's okay. If you'd rather have the Crash version. It just says bandicoot. It's not that specific. A fucked up mouse. A little, yeah. I mean, it's an Australia one, right? I think bandicoots are Australian. So. Yeah, Australia, New Guinea. I think they're cute. They look like a rodent. It's pretty much what rodents look like. It's a little cute. Guys, look at the bandicoot. He's just a little guy. Little low energy today. I'm sorry. Hopefully you get some good eeps soon. Eepy, evidently. I'm sorry, Zombie. Rest well today. Make sure you get some good rest. Failed genetic mutation accidentally released into the wild. It's cute. A little. It's got the little snoot. I like its long tail. I feel like if it didn't have the long tail, it would be so sad. There are some ugly ones, though, I will admit. This is the cuter bandicoot. I have to go back to the mines. I still exist, though. Alrighty. Mountain Lou, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Good luck with the mines. Good luck, good luck. It was nice yapping. Whoever did my breathing tube for the surgery was not gentle. My throat is sore. Oh no! The worst place for drawing blood on top of the thumb. Ow! You have so many nerve endings on your fingers. That's a terrible idea. I'm so sorry, Nightmare. Okie dokie, okie dokie. So yeah, we've got these 3 new commands that have been enabled through Sammy. So that was kind of my first step, was I wanted to start pushing the things that I wanted to get into Sammy. Well, not second thing, but there's a lot of other things that I would like to do. And number 1 is I would like to introduce y'all to a little guy that I did cook up during Art Fight and I didn't tell you all about. As soon as I figure out where I put it. Okay, so to preface, this is going to be the base image, and it's still rough draft. I would like y'all's opinions on it. But it is going to be the baseline for what an Asterling is, which I've been saying that's what y'all are, Asterlings. It's in the Discord, but I don't heavily use it a lot, so I'm trying to use it a little bit more. So I'm designing an Asterling, and this is what I've been working on so far. So the base body form was based off of a tardigrade, which can survive in space. So I think that was a fun base to work with. So we got the multiple little legs. I wanted to add some bioluminescence, some things like that. I didn't originally have the little antenna, but, you know, it feels wrong at this point to draw a little guy without antenna. So yeah, I'm just kind of working on what I want that to look like. I'm liking the colors more, a little bit. I'm not totally sold on these little parts here. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, I'm thinking that the main things they're always going to have is a glowing tail, the big eyes and the big ears, and their whiskers and antennae. Hopefully. So the thought process is we're going to have a baseline guy here. Who needs a name? So these are the 3 options for a name. Oh, look, Sea of Stars. Perfect. That's the Discord where Asterling was used first. But yeah, I need a name, guys. I need to know a name. I like all 3 of these names for this little guy, and I don't know what to call him. Fizzle, Wick, or Spark. So yeah, or if there's anything, any suggestions you have or thoughts you have on the design for this guy, because I'm still brainstorming for that. But yeah, this design needs to be finished before I tackle the 100 stream streak reward. I'm not going to tell you the details of it because I don't know if I can execute my idea, but I do have an idea for it, and it does involve the Asterlings, where essentially you will have like your own version of an Asterling. You can design it after a character you like or one of your characters or something like that. But what exactly is going on screen for that reward, I still have to see if I can actually do that. So I won't tell you all about that yet. But yeah, partial to Fizzle. Fizzle is it's a good name. I think I think they're all very good names. Very cute. So I'm thinking maybe more than one eye, but I don't know. There's a lot going on his head, I think. So more than one eye, more than 2 eyes would probably be a lot. Fizzle's the clear winner to be here. Here, well, where is it? Ah! There we go. Why is my mouse half of the time not working? I never do polls. We'll do this. I never do polls. So I'm gonna do a poll. Let it last. Sure, 10 minutes. There we go. Which name is superior? For this little guy. Oh, we gotta vote for Wick. You could say that the little patterns are additional eyes, so they have like 9 eyes. Ooh. I like that idea. I was thinking, so I was trying to, I can never make things without like thinking about the science of it a little bit. So actually I'll just tell you because I have been working on lore as well. That is something I've been working on in the background, and I would like to share with y'all as well. On the Astrolings. So some details about Astrolings. So lore-wise, Scribbles has discovered Astrolings in his travels. And Astrolings are creatures in space. They live in space. They can breathe in space. They can survive in space. Perfectly fine. And they feed on 2 things. Space dust. So particles of stars and such like that. And frozen desserts. For some reason. Very odd. Frozen desserts. They've been trying to steal the frozen desserts as soon as they discovered them. So canonically, the Astrolings understand the language that Scribbles speaks, but Scribbles can't understand them when they speak. So he's working on translation in a way to get home. But yeah. So yeah, but when I was designing these, I was thinking, okay, these are little guys. They're very little guys. So they're probably, and they're just feeding on space dust. So they're probably bottom of a food chain, prey animal. What do prey animals have? Okay, well, prey animals have some signals that maybe you don't want to eat them, or some eye patterns to kind of spook off potential predators. They'll have whiskers to detect things. Maybe they glow to attract a mate or something. I don't know. I wanted them to glow. That's why they're glowing. Looks like a comet. The name? What looks like a comet? They have forward-facing eyes, so clearly this is an apex predator. This is true. They do have forward-facing eyes. As most furries do. Imagine they see frozen treats and think it's like a Oh, I see, I see. That makes sense. Okay. I like that. It looks like Fizzle's winning. Mm. Okay, so a little bit more about the lore, since I've been thinking about that. Um, so I've told y'all that in terms of lore, Scribbles has amnesia, which is true. Um, and they've basically fallen through. How to word this? They have amnesia, and they are trying to get back home. And they're kind of lost in space. Basically, they do not recognize anywhere they are. They can't seem to contact anybody but Earth, which is odd. And they've only interacted with these like astrolings that they've encountered. So yeah. I'm also going more into the details of Nudagons. And the one thing I wanted to add to it is that Nudagons canonically have very poor memories. So this is now my excuse. Canonically, Nudagons have long lifespans, but actually terrible, awful memories. And so they'll like make these quote unquote memory hoards in order to help them remember the past. So they'll have like objects and stuff that will help them to remember things that happened in the past. Otherwise, they're really not going to remember because their memory's crap. Are the Astrolings hitching rides in Scribble's ship? Sometimes, yeah. Scribbles can survive in space. They're just they don't the form that Scribbles is in, the stage of life that Scribbles is in right now for a Nudagon is very bad at traveling through space, so it's easier just to take a ship. But they can survive in space, so sometimes Scribbles will just hang out outside of the ship and see the Astrolings, or the Astrolings can come inside the ship, or just, yeah, hitch a ride on the ship if they want to travel fast. Like a little cookie cutter chart. Well, hopefully not cutting the ship. That would be very unfortunate. Yeah, they just open this little mouth and it's just rows and rows of teeth. So yeah, the first thing I want to do is kind of bang down what I want this design to look like. I really do like how this looks. I might mess around with it a little bit longer. But once this is kind of a solid design, then I'm gonna, oh no, it's tied now. Fizzle and Wick is tied. Oh boy. Who could have foreseen this? We need a tiebreaker, guys. Somebody come tiebreaker this. Yeah, once this is figured out, I am going to try to work on what is going to be the 100 stream streak reward that involves them, and then hopefully once that's all put together, I can tell y'all what it is. I need to make sure that it'll work before I tell you, basically. Yeah. Grab ship wing, open mouth, consume stardust at hundreds of kilometers per second. Profit. Need to be physic. It's better than Whizzle. I don't think that's gonna work as a name. Oh boy, oh boy. Let's see here. There we go. But yeah, working on the design for that. So yeah, I had a little bit of extra time during Art Fight, so I was kind of sketching this for fun because I knew that this was something I wanted to work on. And it's something I want to give priority since I know that a couple people already have hit the 100 stream streak, so I want to I want to give out the reward, obviously, before it gets too ahead of me. So yeah, gonna try to work on this as quick as possible, if I can. Oh gosh, we're gonna end with a tie. Oh no. Quick, somebody vote. Someone's gonna vote and they're gonna vote Spark and then it's gonna be stuck again. We've tied. It's Fizzle and Wick. Fantastic. Okay, so Spark is a no. Spark is a no. Ah, no. There we go. No Spark. No to Spark. Yeah. I have to decide Fizzle or Wick. I think between the two of them, I like Fizzle more, but I do like Wick. You know what? We're gonna do what every great DM will do. We're gonna roll a die. We're gonna roll a die. Okay. We'll say that if it's odd, it's Fizzle. If it's even, it's Wick. I can always make a poll on the Discord. I could make a poll on the Discord. Would y'all rather me make a poll on the Discord rather than rolling a die? We don't have to decide on it now either. I can make a poll on the Discord. Everyone has a chance to vote. That's fair. That's fair. Okay, I'll add that to my list of things I'm doing after stream. All right, poll on Discord. Fizzle versus Wick. I will say Spark was my least favorite of those three as well, so that kind of works out, I guess. But yeah, just a little guy. Just a little guy. A little alien. Yeah, okay. So that is in regards to the 100 stream streak and how that's going down. So I'm kind of, just to kind of make it make sense, I know I have the, like, chat Sona. Chat Sona kind of exists as a reference to chat as a whole, but for an individual, it would be an Asterling. So an Asterling is showing the individual, chat Sona is representing the whole of chat, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. That's how I'm viewing it in my head. Because I don't want to kill chat Sona. I kind of like the design, so. But yeah. Okay. I will say there are a lot of new redeems that I would like to do, and part of that, and those were partly why I was working on integrating Sammy. The Astraling's pilot chat Sona. No, exactly. If you open up chat Sona's head, it's actually just another Astraling. Unfortunate, I would vote to kill it. Oh no. I mean, technically, it's not even a... I feel like protogen is the wrong word, right? What's the one where they have more fur? Because the only part of him that looks like a protogen is his head. And the rest of it is fur. With some, like, computer buttons in his fur. And that's it. I don't know. I feel like there's another one. Oh, it's called non-canon. Well, we already knew that. It's called my own design now. Alrighty. So, one of the redeems that I want to work on, and this is just a small one. The Primogens? I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm gonna be honest. Let's see. even those have more robot parts. This is just a head. It's the only other one that exists. They are actually more robot and look bad. Looking at them. Like, I think the head looks more like Protogen. See, required traits. Yeah, they usually have armor and mechanical parts. I'll just say mine's unique. I don't know. Mine's its own thing now. Non-canon. This is my own thing now. This is mine. I made it. Just a robot head attached to a furry. Okay, so for rewards, I want to update the hydrate one, and kind of split it into two options. Some of these are small rewards, but anyway. So one of them is going to be for water, and one of them is going to be for Dr. Pepper. Because I think currently, as it is, it's a little confusing, because it says hydrate, and it says drink water, but there's a Dr. Pepper can on it. So I'm going to separate it so you can have some stuff like that. TV heads, but rounded. Random shit. Without the random shit. That's fair. I don't know. I'm not enough into the furry fandom that I know what's going on. I just design stuff. Let me see. I am got a couple of these here, but I don't know if they're actually going to happen, so I'm not going to mention those. I'd rather mention ones that I am going to move forward with. I'd like to have some form of text-to-speech. I know I've got one activated for sound alerts, but I think that's bits only, so I want to have one that's, like, channel points related, but there's some things I gotta do with that and figuring out how that works. I'm gonna do a little bit more with the first Astraling. There's a way to track how many times you've been first, so I'm gonna add a tracker to it. I think that'll be a little fun. There's some options for that. Should know what they're called. I looked this up when making the Chupa Botrix species, because they came up when making the species. Ah, I see. There's a lot of different species. I know there's a lot of different species. I just don't know anything about them. I want to add I want to have one redeem that is going to be hydrate and stretch and posture check, that sort of thing, all in one big package. Something like that. I'm going to have one that comes on randomly if I can get it to work. So there's going to be one randomly activating redeem if I can get it to work. I know this has been sitting in the works for a while, because I think Mountain Lou proposed it forever ago, but I do still want to have it so that y'all can put, like, random hats on me. It's just going to take some work to get it to work, but I think with Sammy I can make it work easier, so we'll see how it works. A lot of things I have to learn with Sammy. Yeah, so that's some of the ideas here. With these, and obviously I don't want to tell you all the redeems because I want some of them to be a surprise as well. Works on my art fight is part of my species with my partner's persona. I make it as close species. I see, I see. I feel like it's impossible to... Close species doesn't make sense to me. Like, if you wanted to be a close species, you don't share it. That's how it works. Unfortunately, in this day and age, yeah. If you want something kept to yourself, you keep it to yourself. Yeah, I do want to make some updates to the PNG tuber. There's some I don't know if they're not emotes, but like reactions, I guess, that I want to add on because every time I'm like, oh, I wish I had this one to press. I don't have it. I'm going to try to add some of those. I want to update, if I can, some of the alerts just have random GIFs that I grabbed from sound alerts, but I'd like to have some personalized ones. The only personalized one I have is for subs, so I'd like to have a few more personalized ones. If I have a lot more time, I would like to update the scenes as well. So, like I said, the scenes were, like, the first thing I drew when I first got this tablet. I drew scribbles, and then I drew the scenes. And so they're old and outdated and don't have vector layers, and so they definitely need upgrades. I just know they're going to take a while. That's why I've put it off for so long. So, like, mainly this scene. This scene needs to be upgraded. And just updated to be a little bit better, but like that background took a while, so all that stuff took a while, so I'm reluctant to do it again. But I do have some ideas for what I want to do with it, as well as the be right back screen. That one, I like what it is. I like what it does, but I think I have some ideas for better ones. So the just talking and the be right back screen. I did want to ask y'all how y'all feel about, like, overlays, where if I was to have, like, a smaller screen with what I was doing, and then some other stuff here or here, and then the chat box here, and then there I am. I don't know, how do y'all feel about overlays? Because when I first started, I wasn't sure that I wanted to do something like that. But I don't know, would it be easier? Would it be annoying to have an overlay? What do y'all think? Those species are especially dumb. No shade. So many are pretty generic designs. All those fluffy dragons with big 2D grins. That's basically it. I mean, yeah, if you want to give that a name, sure. Seems like more effort than you need to, but sure. Overlays have been seen less and less. I've seen more people with frames. Oops. Frames? What do you mean by frames? What do you mean by frames? Not sure what you mean by frames. I also am hoping to do, or I'm thinking, if we do more of these, like, brainstorming, and I know we haven't actually gotten to much of that yet with my project and everything, but at some point. Maybe something that's like brainstorming, world building, and the idea would be that there's, like, two areas, like half of the screen is art that I'm working on for it, and the other half is the writing that I'm doing for it. So y'all can kind of see all of that. Yeah. Or prompts with their PNG tuber, like mine having a chair or a desk, I see. Still not sure what you mean by frames, unless I'm using the word overlay wrong, which I might be. Let me see if I can Google that. It'll come up. Oh my gosh. Okay, my mouse is dying, apparently. I click things 3 times before they work. It's ridiculous. Stream. Hmm. That I would call an overlay still. So I must not be looking up the right thing. Hmm. Yeah, something like that. That would be kind of the idea there. Um, I also want to do an offline something for when I'm offline, a picture or something. But that would be like the last thing that I worry about because it's not going to take no. So things like this are things that I don't expect to get done this year. To be honest, it's just as time passes. Um, the redeems I would like to have done by the end of the year, if possible, depending on how much I have to draw. These are already done. So it'd be like the redeems I'd like to have done, the 100 stream streak, which is also a redeem. I would like to have done by the end of this year. But this sort of stuff would be like bonus I could work on this year if I happen to finish all that other stuff. But probably not. Probably a next year thing as well. A couple of other things. I've been looking at the what is it called? Twitch integrated throwing system. Is that what it's called? The stuff that lets you throw things at people. And apparently does work with PNG tubers. And I think it'll work maybe a little bit better than the one we have now. Most importantly, it'll let me customize a little bit better. I'm currently waiting for it to be available, I think, on Steam. I think I want to get it off of Steam. I just trust Steam more than I trust itch.io. I'm not gonna lie, I just don't trust itch.io very much. It also costs real money, and right now I'm able to use the throwing system I have now for free. And also, all the things to throw would have to be stuff I have to draw, and I don't really have time for that. So, but that is something to be worked on. I bought stream avatars forever ago because it went on sale. This could be more of something that I could maybe get done within the year. But that's also where the Astraling design comes in because it would be like a very simplified version of the Astraling and then maybe some designs for it and things like that. So it just kind of depends. Those are like an overlay, but floating windows. You tend to see it more for people with webcam streams. Some PNG tubers use it where their PNG tuber is just the bust. I see. I've seen a lot of people doing that, and maybe, but it took me a long time to make cross legs kind of work on a furry, so I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the fact that I got it to work a little bit better. Yeah, kind of going into that though, I did kind of want to update not just some expressions, but I was thinking maybe having a change so I'm not always holding a controller, that maybe I am hunched over a drawing tablet at some point, but that would be a lot more drawing, so I don't know. We'll see about that. That would be a lot of work I'd have to put into it because I'd have to do expressions for each of them and things like that. It takes some time for that. But yeah, and then other than that, the only other thing is we unlocked a whole bunch of emotes over June and July. So I definitely want to work on those. I just unfortunately don't have any ideas for well, I have somebody asked for an emote when streaking. I have no idea what that would be. But an emote for when you're streaking. And I think I would personally like one that's like pointing. But those are the only ideas I have. So yeah, if there's any that y'all would really like to see, or any ideas that you have, let me know. We've got a lot of emotes that unlocked. So let me see. We've got 5 non-animated ones and 5 animated ones for options. So lots of options for emotes. So again, if you have ideas, let me know, or I'll just keep looking some stuff up until I decide on something. We'll see. But yeah, that's the other thing. I'm hoping to get these done by the end of the year, but they may be something I have to address later in the year as well, because there's a lot of art to be doing. Yeah. I also wanted to ask y'all, or just remind y'all, if there is any upgrades or changes or things that you would like to see. You can always throw them in the chat while I'm streaming, or throw them in the Discord. There is a whole upgrade section in the Discord. There's a section where you can recommend some games. There's a section for recommending some songs that I could add to the playlist. Also a section for upgrades as well. So obviously, if there's anything that you think is missing from stream, I am open ears for that. Can't wait till VNTube has their full program out. I use Mini. I use Mini as well. What's their full program gonna be? Again, I live under a rock. I don't know anything. A noted emote. Like... I have no idea how I hold a pen. I'm literally looking at myself holding a pen. This looks weird. Something like that. Like writing down notes. So many features, the Mini. Something like that, yeah. Okay. I think that's a good idea. I know several people that have that one as well. Jot that down in my Obsidian file as well. Actually, I forgot. I did have an idea for the streaking. It was going to be like... a peace sign, and then they disappear. Something like that. Oh, gosh. Okay. And then the only other thing I think that I wanted to kind of talk about regarding streaming is kind of like the schedule that's going on. I am still planning on doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday streams as much as possible. I have to start at 7:30 because I usually don't get home until like 7 because my job hates me. So I'm not planning on changing that, but I'm kind of thinking I'm going to have something more regular. So what's in my head is kind of having 1 week where we do, where there's going to be either a stream or a Discord time on Saturday, and then a week where there's not something on Saturday, essentially, is the idea. VidTube is on their Coffee for Early Access beta, but so yeah. So on some weeks, I'd like to work on some of the art that I'm going to need for the streaming. So the emotes, the astrolings, the scenes, the PNG tuber, all that art that I would do for stream. And then some weeks working on, I'm going to call them art studies, even though in my head, that's a big word. I'm not going to go back to Drawbox, at least not right now. But I do want to figure out how to draw animals like animals, not like furries, but animals like animals. I want to learn how to draw monsters, and I want to learn how to draw robots. And all of those things are because I need to know how to draw those to draw my next characters that I want to do. So I want to take some time to do that, or I want to work on just personal reference sheets or just character art, stuff like that, is the idea. So working on some of that stuff. And then each week, if I can get some time to do some art that's for like merchant stuff. Going back to that, we were working on that before our fight started, so I'm excited to kind of go back into that. And then gaming on Friday. We have some thumbnails that are already made, but I might work on some as well. That would also be stream related art to do too. But I have so many games and only Fridays to play them. And then on Saturday, either streaming or just on Discord. I haven't really decided yet. But working, I want to have like a set time for working on my writing because I really do want to make some progress there. As much as possible. And I feel like brainstorming with other people, as well as getting some feedback, as well as just holding myself accountable to say, at this day, on this time, for this long, I'm going to be working on that. That'll keep me keep me working on it, hopefully, so we can actually see some good progress on it. Because I'd love to get the new rough draft done for book 1, get into book 2, wrap that up, as much as possible. So, hopefully. It's in betas, so I'm waiting for the full version. That's fair. I'd probably do the same thing. If I had been paying attention and knew there was a thing. Okie dokie. But that's basically ideas for stream and updating stream and things like that. I just wanted to tell y'all I've been like thinking about a lot of different things for stream, and so I wanted to keep y'all updated with that. And make sure that you were knowing what was going on and be able to give me some feedback and tell me what you would like to see, because it's ultimately for you guys. So there's that. So new VMTube is going to Steam. I would trust Steam more. That's good to know. I hate downloading things on random websites, okay? I hated doing it growing up. It made me terrified because my siblings would always, like, corrupt the computer with viruses, and it made me paranoid. I have this very bad paranoia of, like, corrupting my computer and losing everything. So I'm always like, where's my trusted website? I don't trust any of you people. Same. Just like, I didn't go on those sketchy websites. I was nervous when I first discovered anime. I was nervous to go on Crunchyroll because I was like, this seems like one of those sketchy sites where hot singles in my area won't know that I'm asexual. And, and so it's a little bit of paranoia with that stuff. That's why you gotta back up your files. If I was smart, yeah, that would be something I should do. Oh my gosh. Send the link in the Discord. Is it on Steam now? Boop-a-doop-a-doop. I'm asking as I look it up anyway. Oh, yeah, it is. It's right there. Oh, I love that deer thing. I forgot about it. Oh, it's coming out soon, it says. What's the... Oh, it looks complicated. Oh boy. Oh gosh. Well, let me add that to my wish list. Thank you. Let me just add that. Guess they have it set for this year. It must be close to being done. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Then maybe I'll wait on anything. I was going to wait on anything PNG Tuber related anyway, but if they're going to update that, and I want to make any big changes, I should probably wait before I do anything. But because I literally only use AI Summary because I hate clicking on any websites and links. It's really bad anxiety. I understand that. I'm like, is this a .gov? Okay. Maybe that's okay. I don't know if I trust you. When I was looking for Sammy, I was like, let me look at 3 separate YouTube videos that have the link to Sammy and make sure that none of the comments are like, hey, this link is crap and going to infect your computer, and that all of these links matched, and then I found it. I was so paranoid. I was very brave downloading Sammy from a random website. Because it's like, there's always those people that are like, oh, this is a popular thing. I'm gonna make a website that sounds very similar, like you're downloading that thing, but it's actually a virus because I hate you. I don't know. It's stupid. We can't have anything nice around here. Um, but yeah. So that's kind of the plan for stream moving forward. Oh my gosh. Lots and lots of work to do, but I'm very, very excited. And I'm excited to give y'all more fun things as well. Hopefully, more redeems soon. Speaking of redeems, the doodle request will be back up and running on Monday for the doodle request stream. It is a day specifically designed and dedicated to me working on doodle requests. So if you have your research funds and have been holding on to them dearly and tightly, get ready to use them on Monday. Make sure you're there on Monday. 30K! Oh my gosh. That's a lot. And just disclaimer, they are sketches. They are supposed to be sketches, and I'm trying to be better at making them sketches and keeping them as sketches. Do not expect a work of art. It will be a sketch. I'll do my best. I swear I will do my best. But it is the sketch. We're going to limit it, especially when a lot of people... 117K! That redeem might be a little more expensive on Monday. I was thinking... I actually don't know how expensive it is. Still think I should be able to Power Rangers combine them into a full art. I don't know about that, buddy. I don't know about that. Let me see. I don't know. I'm gonna look at what other people have for doodle request before I activate it. Let's see. But oh my gosh, that's so much. Anyway, be ready to use it if you'd like to use it. That day is dedicated to doodle requests. I'm not going to plan to draw anything else but doodle requests, so we have some time for that. So you can guilt-free do a doodle request. Remember that there will still be restrictions on it. There just might be less restrictions since it is dedicated to that. I don't know. I might keep the restrictions on, and then if we have more time, I'll take them off. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Cannot increase it because of one rich person. This is not fair. I was thinking increase it when you said 30,000, dude. You're the rich person. 117,000, that's a lot as well, but oh my gosh. Though I guess 30,000, that's 3. Which is the limit. 3 per person, per stream. Maybe that is a fair number. To be fair, I was thinking about increasing it anyway, but honestly, I don't know. I'll have to think about it. I'll think about it. Maybe I'll call it, quote unquote, on sale on the stream when it starts up, and then it's more expensive after doodle request day. Because it's no longer doodle request day. I think it'd be fun to occasionally do a day like that, too. So if you're, like, saving up your points, you can use it. I don't want y'all to feel like guilty for distracting me, because it wouldn't be activated if I wasn't okay with doing those doodle requests. But I do worry that y'all are great. Y'all are great. If I'm like I have to get this thing done, usually you don't do the doodle requests even when they're activated. So, and I do really appreciate that. But I want you to guilt-free be able to use them, especially on Monday. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. Okay. Before we switch gears to the writing, I am going to get some water and deal with very sad puppies who are sad. So I will be right back. Make sure to stretch, get some water of your own, get some food, pat your dogs, whether they are sad or not, and I will be back shortly for writing. I'm back. Hope you're able to get some water, some foods. I gave the puppies a little treat, a little snuffle mat, since they're being a little ignored. And that is truly a shame. There we go. Okay. So you should make a 100k full art redeem so people only save for that and you have to do doodles less. See, it would still take the same amount of time though, wouldn't it? It would take more time because then I'd feel very pressured that they spent so much of their channel redeem points on that. So much of their research funds. I'd have to make it worth it. And y'all see my stuff, it takes forever. Very intense music. I put on a world building playlist. Not my own, just somebody's. So yeah, some intensity. Big brain. Big brain. Okay. So I kind of wanted to switch gears at this point, and kind of talk about my writing, the story that I'm trying to write, which is one of the big main projects I want to be working on at this time. I feel like there's three main projects. I'm working on stream stuff, I'm working on this writing, and I'm working on merch because eventually I want to go to a con. Is the goal. So three big projects, and this is one of them. And I want to take this a little bit more seriously because I feel like it keeps getting pushed to the side for other stuff, which sucks. It sucks. I want to do this. So, kind of what I wanted to do is I want to practice being a little bit more confident and proud of the work that I'm doing on this because I don't really show this to anybody. Art Nerd has seen some of this stuff, but that's about it. Nobody else is really seeing this except for me. So it's a lot of like stuck in a hole by yourself, right? In an echo chamber. And I know that it's better to like get other people's opinions on it. It's just, it's scary because you're the only one looking at it. And you're proud of it and you don't want to feel less proud of it. By showing it off, but that's the only way you get better, right? So, part of what I want to do today is read y'all the very first chapter that I have written with the disclaimer that it is a rough draft, 2.0 rough draft, but it's still very much a rough draft. Probably going to be changed a million times because it's me. Probably going to be changed a million times before the final thing, but I kind of want to show off what I've been working on a little bit. With that, writing's hard because you can't share as much of the process behind it, and I want to share as much as possible with y'all that you can kind of see that. And then once we've gone through chapter 1, I'm going to be working on actually kind of establishing the setting. I've done that a little bit in the past, but I kind of want to start making some actual tabs in Obsidian so that I can have all the information in places that it's easy to read and refer to, kind of like how I do when I TM for D&D. It's kind of going to be my baseline there. Yeah, so I can talk about the world there. And then while I'm working on that, I love to hear what y'all's projects are. What are y'all working on as well? What stories are you trying to tell? What characters are you working on? Are you doing stuff for D&D? Are you doing stuff for writing? Are you drawing something? Are you coding something? Making a game? Making crochet? Knitting? I don't know. There's all sorts of cool stuff and cool projects that I know a lot of people do, and I get into too many of them. But yeah, so that's what I want to do following the chapter 1. So yeah, I hope you bear with me. I hope you enjoy it. Honestly, and that is the other reason I needed the water because I'm definitely long-winded when I'm writing, unfortunately, but this is before an editor, so disclaimer. But I hope you enjoy it as well. So, without further ado, this is chapter 1 of the Trails of Stars, which is the name of my story. And chapter 1 is Chains of Fate. Audiobook time is story time. We've had so many story times in games. It's time for real story time. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. I'm hoping it lets me click on things. Okay, it should work. And hold on, I'm just messing with audio because I don't want it to be too distracting here. To me, not to y'all. I get distracted way too easily. Okay. There's audio, I swear, it's just really quiet. Okay. Trails of Stars. Chains of Fate. He never should have wandered so far into the Grim's Maw. His breath catches in harsh wheezes as he runs, blood pounding in his ears. His hair sticks to his forehead, sweat gliding down his neck and dripping off his chin. He can smell copper in the air, feel his warm blood seeping into the back of his shirt, but adrenaline dulls the pain to a constant throb. Moonlight casts his shadow long in front of him. His magic, usually soft blossoms that coat his shoulders, is a weak flicker, nothing more than a few loose petals. He had drained nearly everything he had to weave the shadows under his control over and over, and now his very soul aches. He doesn't have the magic, can't summon the energy to grab the shadows again, and so he runs. He can only hope he makes it to the border. The others would be able to help. The penumbra is nearly within reach now. He can see the bridge just ahead. Stumbling over loose rocks and tangled grass, he chances a glance over his shoulder. The monster is right at his heels, its legs a blur as they beat against the ground. It hardly seems to be exerting itself, as if the chase is nothing more than a leisurely game. He urges his screaming legs to move faster. The moonlight stops right at the bridge, submitting to the shadows. Just a few more steps. The darkness of the penumbra looms ahead, as if reaching for him, offering its assistance. His shadow is nearly in its embrace. 3 steps. 2 steps. 1. A massive paw sends him skidding across the ground. His body tumbles, skin scraping over stones and dirt, until he crashes into the trunk of an oak tree. His head hits so hard the world spins for a moment. By the time he can blink the spots out of his eyes, the monster stands towering over him. Though it stands in the moonlight, its dark fur makes it hard to distinguish, as if it absorbs the light from all around it. The smell is unforgettable, though, like rotten flesh and soured milk. It makes his stomach churn with more than just fear. One glowing ice-blue eye narrows at him. It growls, showing off sharp fangs. A trickle of blood slips down its jaw from the other eye, where a small blade no bigger than his pinky is embedded. He won't get another lucky shot like that again. Behind the monster, others gather eagerly. Their forms not as solid, I can't speak. I can't read my own writing. Their forms not as solid, shadowy wisps escaping from their bodies in the moonlight. Their eyes are empty red circles glowing from the darkness. Their shapes continually shift, altering with the rustling wind and the movement of the shadows, but always with fang-filled jaws, crooked claws, and crimson eyes. There isn't much choice. Gathering what little strength and magic he has left, he reaches desperately for the shadows. The darkness crawls over the grass, answering his call, spilling toward his outstretched arm. Just the effort strains his soul. Sharp pain lances his heart. He pants, muscles shaking. Darkness creeps at the edges of his vision. This song is distracting. Hold on. There we go. I'm very easily distracted by my music. A scream rips from his throat as the monster slams a massive paw down on his arm. The bone shatters with a sickening snap. The shadows dissipate, leaving him helpless. He stares up at the monster, tears streaking down his face. Blood pools from the claw marks etched in his back, staining the bark of the tree. Searing pain races along his arm, as if it is encased in flames. His strength is gone. His magic is gone. "Help!" he yells, throat raw, desperately hoping one of the others happened to be near. "Please, help!" The monster's ear flickers. The others pause, heads tilted. They wait, listening. But there's no sound but the wind rustling the trees. When the monster looks at him again, he could swear it is grinning. It reaches for him, long claws covered in his own blood. "You should have taken the easy way." I'm just going to pause for a moment, because that is the prologue, technically. But there is more. Whew. It's a lot of reading. I did this to myself. Okay. Lightning crackles along her shoulders, snapping at her skin like writhing snakes. The stings of pain still make her flinch with each bite, even if the wounds are nothing new, blending in easily with the collage of scars and mottled skin across her body. She pays it no mind, too focused on pushing ahead through the crowd. According to tradition, strays should be at the back, set aside from individual packs, but Avery's never been good at following customs. Sweat slides down her back from the stifling heat as she squeezes between bodies. Being a Latran helps, her narrow build allowing her to wriggle herself into and out of situations that she may or may not be allowed in. Even then, it's laughably easy to make her way through the packs. A few glances at the band on her wrist marking her a stray, and many give her space like it's contagious. But it's her magic, deep black and electric, flickering over her shoulders and down her arms, that truly parts the crowd for her, none willing to risk a bite of destruction. She uses it to her advantage, making her way to the front of the crowd until she can spot the Umbrans. Years of rituals and traditions have painted the Umbrans as divine beings above trivial mortals, the only ones allowed to direct the shadows for the protection of Skatus. Set aside since their choosing, no clan can claim one who has become an Umbran as their own. All previous connections must be broken and forgotten, as they are set above the rest of Skatus, given the divine privilege of using their magic for the greater good, and elevated to a status equal to the nebulae. But seeing them in person, Avery can't help but think that they look no less mortal than her. The 4 remaining Umbrans are gathered together a small distance from the gathering tribes. Their cloaks are colored like the night sky, bordered with white. Golden tassels hold the edges of their cowls taut, the white hoods obscuring their faces from sight. There's no need to hide their magics, and she can't help but stare. Golden flames lick the shoulders of an Umbran who hunches slightly over a wooden staff, one leg moving slower than the other. Another's magic burns crimson red, an inferno raging over an Umbran standing stone still. One of the Umbran's shoulders are shaking beneath a soft emerald tide of magic, a hand disappearing beneath his hood to touch his face. The last Umbran, with waves of deep blue magic, speak to him in a tone too soft to catch, placing a gentle hand on the other's shoulder to comfort him. It's so human it catches Avery off guard. She shifts, trying to catch a glimpse of green magic. If she could just see his face, there's a typo, she might recognize him. Her magic jumps with excitement, and she flinches as it cuts into her arms. It has not been long since two of the Umbrans were chosen. Avery has no doubt their faces remain hidden, so no one may remember who they used to be. The crowd shuffles her aside before she can see more than the curve of a tanned nose. Her mild annoyance disappears as her attention is pulled away from the Umbrans at the arrival of the Loop clan, though it does nothing to settle her magic. Always the last to arrive, the Loop clan have traveled the farthest from their snow-covered tundra, where darkness is thick and rarely broken by the light of the stars. The humans of Loop are built to survive in the harsher environment of their home. Their arms and legs bulge with muscles worn tough in the winters. Their faces are scarred and rough, with narrow pinpricks of eyes and strong, set jawlines. The wind picks up their long, thick black hair. They wear Tellurian wolfskins around their shoulders, the heads hanging like hoods against their backs, and black furred coats and boots. Avery wonders if they might be hot in the humid summer weather in the Fireglow Grove, so different to their normal climate, but none of them give any indication of feeling the heat. The Vermalia and their clan are primarily Canidae, like most in Scatus. Their fur is thick, tufts of longer fur protruding off their cheeks. Their ears are short and rounded, and their broad muscles no doubt hide large, bone-crushing teeth. They are even larger than most of the humans in their clan, and their almond-shaped eyes gleam gold. Their fur allows them to dress lighter than the humans from their clan, though Avery doubts it helps much. Despite their physical similarities, they are markedly different from Tellurian wolves. Though Vermalia and Tellurians both possess a soul, like humans, Vermalias stand upright, speak, and produce magic. Avery could feel the unease creeping through her own tribe at the arrival of the Loop clan. Her magic crackles, biting nervously at the skin of her shoulders. The clans of Scatus are friendly with each other, but there is something about the Loop clan that leaves every member of Latran on edge. Perhaps it is because, unlike the Loop clan, the Latran people are smaller and wiry, built for their wandering nature rather than enduring the harsh, bitter cold. Her people's clothes are lightweight for travel, the scouts adorned in leather armor and the rest, including Avery, dressed in woolen tunics and trousers. The humans, like Avery, wear the skins of Tellurian coyotes over their shoulders, though Avery prefers to keep the head pulled up over her own, until her face has almost disappeared beneath the fur. The Vermalia, mostly Canidae, more resemble Tellurian coyotes, and thus are smaller and thinner than the Canidae of the Loop clan, though their ears are longer and their eyes shine the same golden-yellow color. As a whole, the Latran clan is an intelligent clan, but hardly a threatening one, and perhaps the stark contrast causes inherent unrest. With all 7 clans gathered at the edges of Fireglow Grove, where the paths between all meet, the procession can begin. Avery manages to squeeze her way back to the front of the crowd to see the Umbrans lift a log, haul it out, and no longer than Avery herself, as they start to walk deeper into the grove. The crowd follows the Umbrans solemnly, and Avery is jostled along with the flow of the crowd. Her eyes are quickly drawn away from the Umbrans as she enters the Fireglow Grove. Being in Pika clan territory, the land is unfamiliar to her. Massive trees entangled in a complex network of snaking branches and roots are lit by their fruit, yellow, orange, red, and white globes that shimmer and glow like lanterns. Some have fallen to the ground, spilling luminescent nectar around curdling skins. Attracted by the light of the fruit, moths and fireflies flutter amongst the trees, their wings humming the song of the grove. The forest floor is littered by patches of fungi and fallen leaves that crunch beneath Avery's leather boots. The canopy is far too thick to allow any starlight in. The only light comes from the fireglow fruit, which casts flickering shadows over the crowd. Nebulae float among the branches, staring at the procession. Most are ethereal, the bodies they chose flitting in and out of view, but a few are corporeal. Some so solid as to look like Tellurians with true bodies, were it not for the strong magic radiating from them. Avery meets the eyes of one in the form of a carbuncle, a salamander-like creature with soft teal fur, a long winding tail, and lupine ears. Embedded into its forehead sits a red gemstone that shimmers in the flickering light. Its dark, unblinking stare makes her pause. It couldn't know what she was thinking. Not even Nebulae had that ability. So why did she feel so guilty? Avery grimaces, tugs her coyote skin further over her head, and pushes onward, tearing her gaze away from the Nebulae. Its head turns slowly, watching her until she is out of sight. As they tread through the Fireglow Grove, murmurs and hushed voices rustle through the crowd. Avery can't help but listen in. "Such a shame," a Vermalia says. Dark muzzle turned in a frown. "He was just a pup, really. So much potential lost." "Do you really think it was a feral Tellurian?" a woman asks, the beaded necklace around her throat lightly jingling with every step. A man next to her, wearing a coyote pelt, scoffs, leaning closer to mutter in her ear. "It was those shades. You know it. I know it. All of Scatus knows it. And if those monsters can kill an Umbran, what chance do any of us have?" "He was only just chosen, though." The Vermalia's ears flick back in annoyance. "A fully trained Umbran. And what do you think happened to the one before him?" The man interrupts, his voice pitching just loud enough to earn himself a few scolding looks from those around him. Chastened, he lowers his voice. I don't care what the official story was. Lact was too young to go naturally. And so was he. The name sends a shiver down Avery's spine. She remembers a stray like her, with a body too thin and too small even for a latran. Snowy white hair, pale skin, and piercing blue eyes could never fully distract from his left arm, which had stopped a few inches past his shoulder during development. Had he survived, it would likely have been difficult to disconnect him from Latran. You shouldn't go saying their names, the Formalia mutters, but doesn't protest further. The crowd's murmurings grow quiet as they pass into the inner sanctum deep within the Fireglow Grove, where most of the trees are gradually overtaken by colossal mushrooms, their caps replacing the leafy canopy. Ferns spread near the fungi's stalks, their fronds unfurling and fanning the root-like mycelium that break through the marshy ground. Near the base of the mushrooms are half-buried, half-entangled logs, decaying in the grasp of the fungi. A shudder crawls up Avery's spine at the sight of them. Many of the hollow logs have rotted through and collapsed in on themselves, the bark breaking away. Dirty white bones, stinking flesh, and stringy sinew peek out from the rot that the mycelium have not yet reached. A thick fog rolls over the forest floor, rising higher and higher until it's a struggle to make out the people around her, and thankfully hiding the grotesque orchard. The only light emanates from the Umbran's brightly colored magic, leading the way through the mist. Sweat sticks Avery's bangs to her forehead in the oppressive heat. She can hear a trickling, tempting creak nearby, the grass squelching with each step. The smell of sulfur burns her nose, blending unpleasantly with the surrounding odor of decay. Most of the Formalians clutch their noses, ears pinned back and tails tucked. A towering shape begins to form beyond the fog, seeming impossibly larger than the closer they approach. An ancient tree intertwines with another colossal fungus that makes the surrounding mushrooms appear puny. The tree and the fungus wind trunk and stalk like a thick braid, so tightly knitted together that bark and skin are indistinguishable. At the roots, a rock formation sits with a perfect half-circle hole etched into it, marking the mouth of the Den of Souls. The creek Avery had heard before flows before the den, reflecting the mouth of the cavern to form a perfect pitch-black circle. The Umbrans stop and kneel at the creek, the clans following their lead. Avery hesitates a moment too long, eyes caught on the surge of magic coming from the mouth of the cave. Get down, stray! Snaps a nearby Formalia she thinks might have been from her clan. Avery scowls, but follows the order, her magic snapping its disapproval toward the Formalia. Avery barely manages to redirect it to her own ankle, wincing at the whip-like sting. The appalled whispers around her and awkward shuffling to move away tell Avery she hadn't been very subtle. She covers her scowl further under the muzzle of her coyote skin. Two voices from the Den of Souls grab her attention, echoing over the inner sanctum. Shadows drift from the cavern's entrance, but is too deep for even a Skaden to see through it. The voices silence the crowd, echoing across the inner sanctum. Just make sure I do that for a second. The first voice is rough, a growl rumbling through every syllable. It is the screech of claws scraping against coarse stone, the ripping of flesh and crunching of bones from a fresh kill. The other is softer, heavier, but just as cold. It is the last rattling breaths of death dragging all hope away, the weight of emptiness left behind. The voices make her legs tremble beneath her despite herself, makes her remember things better forgotten. Why have you come here? The rough one snarls. This is sacred ground you walk on, Umbrans. What reason have you to mourn? The softer one murmurs. The shadows grow longer, curling around the Umbran with green magic. The Umbran dares not raise his head. His voice breaks and wobbles when he answers. It is my fault, Great Spirit. If I had just stayed with him, Ian wouldn't have... That's enough, Landon. interrupts the Umbran with the wooden staff. His age makes his voice tremble. I will not have you hold this guilt upon your shoulders as though it is yours alone to bear. We all hold responsibility for what has happened. Landon doesn't speak again. His shoulders shake, and his magic trickles down them like emerald raindrops. The older Umbran struggles to his feet, relying heavily on his staff. The shadows curl around him, though Avery cannot tell if he or the nebulae control them. Great Spirit Taurus, guardian of the Den of Souls and guide to the great beyond, we have come that you might take this coffin into your den to honor the death of one of our own. Please receive it and guide our lost brother to the great beyond. The shadows grow thick at his feet, bubbling like a hot tar pit. Taurus growls, and the inner sanctum seems to shake at the sound. I will not have an empty coffin fill my den, Athen. It is not the way of Tenebrius. I can't speak. Tenebrius. Has age addled your mind as well as your body? A wave of murmurs flows through the crowd. A coffin had never been rejected from the den before, but then again, they had never offered an empty one before. After all, returning the body to shadows is just as necessary as bringing the soul to Tenebrius in the great beyond. Would Ian's soul wander lost forever? Another Umbran speaks, the one with sapphire magic, though he remains bowed in respect. We know well the ways of tradition, Great Spirit. We, of course, have no intention of disrespecting Tenebrius. Then what cause do you have to waste my time with an empty coffin? The softer one demands. The pit of shadows around Athen extend beyond both Umbrans, a boiling, frothing pool of darkness. There is no body to fill the coffin, the Umbran explains, unmoving despite the magic around him. We have searched for several moons, but we fear his body has been... He pauses, head turning in Landon's direction for a moment before he continues. We wish to bury this coffin, in hopes that his soul might find rest wherever the body may be. We have filled it with his possessions and marked it with his blood, that it might guide him to you. Another pause as his voice begins to shake, and he pleads. Please, Great Spirit. He was only a boy. We just want him to have peace. You are our guide and our guardian to the great beyond. We beg you, don't leave an Umbran to wander the aether. Silence stretches throughout the inner sanctum, softly broken by Landon's choked sobs. The crowd holds their breath, waiting for Taurus's response. Avery stares at the den's entrance, desperately wishing her eyes could pierce through the shadows, even if her body trembles at the sound of Taurus's voice. What sort of physical form did a nebulae that sounds like death itself take? At last, Taurus speaks again, though Avery cannot tell which voice it is. It is not the way of Tenebrius, Umbrans. It is not the way of design. Before they can protest, a sigh rumbles from the entrance, and the shadows retreat from the Umbrans. But it is the way of an Umbran to care for a wandering soul. We will grant your request, for the sake of a guardian of Skatus. Relief washes over the crowd as people exchange hopeful smiles. Even Avery lets out a breath, her shoulders slumping. Thank you, Great Spirit, Athen says, bowing as low as he can manage. The Umbran with sapphire magic offers a hand to help him rise again, as they turn to face the crowd, while the other two Umbrans remain kneeling at the water's edge. People of Skatus, Athen's voice is stronger now. Beneath his hood, Avery can just make out a gray beard peppered with white. Though his time was tragically cut short, our brother accepted the call to protect you and our realm as an Umbran of Skatus. He bravely faced the trials and was deemed worthy to wield the magic of shadows, to create that which has not been known from the chaos of the darkness that cradles the stars. Let us honor our brother here today as he enters the Den of Souls to be guided to the great beyond. May he find his way safely, and may Tenebrius welcome him. May Tenebrius welcome him, the crowd repeats. Avery winces when her own repetition comes a tad late. The Umbrans lift the coffin once more and step towards the creek. They guide the shadows beneath their feet, forming a dark bridge across to the Den of Souls. When they reach the other side, they pause as the crowd suddenly surges forward, and for a moment Avery can see it. The collection of hidden magics buried deep beneath each person's shirt and held tightly to their chest. An array of colors and shapes that they lose their hold on for a second in time. Her eyes widen, excitement making her own magic pinch her shoulders. The shadows of the inner sanctum are drawn to their magic, forming a thick layer of darkness above them that pulses like a beating heart. The shadows shift and turn, twisting until they form a shape that almost looks like a boy with one arm. Deep within the shadowy boy, where his heart would lie, a pinprick of light begins to form. Landon lifts a trembling hand to his mouth at the sight. The Umbran with blue magic squeezes his shoulder. Together, the Umbrans guide the echo toward the Den of Souls, then up past the leaves and cap of the braided tree and fungus, until it is completely out of sight. Thank you, Landon whispers to the crowd, throat raw. Just as suddenly as it was there, the people's magic is gone again, hidden beneath their clothes once more. Avery can't help but frown, but tries to rein in her own magic as well as she can. It bites her ear in response, as expected. The Umbrans begin to walk into the Den of Souls, the coffin held carefully between them. The bridge the Umbrans had formed across the creek swirls into a dark circle, not unlike the penumbra, until it disappears in the darkness of the reflection from the den's mouth. As the Umbrans disappear inside the cavern, so does Taurus's magic, though the cave remains pitch dark. Around her, the crowd begins to disperse, clans following their leaders out of the inner sanctum. A few straggle behind, leaving small charms and tokens at the creek bed or murmuring well wishes for the lost soul. But eventually, they leave as well. Avery does not notice their retreat, her gaze caught on the open entrance to the den. The wordless idea that had been floating around in her head has taken shape, making her magic crackle over her arms. She had come here as expected of a Skaden, to honor the loss of an Umbran, but honestly, it was curiosity that drove her steps. She was eager to drink in any taste of magic she could see or feel, and now that she stands only a short distance from the Den of Souls, all she can think of is the magic that practically flows from it, permeating the air around her and tugging at Avery's own magic temptingly, invitingly. Her feet move forward before her mind catches up and makes her pause, hesitating. She can't. She's not an Umbran. She's not allowed in a sacred place like the Den of Souls. Magic is for nebulae and Umbrans only, of which she is neither. A reminder she has heard time and again. This is a place of magic, a place where she, as much as she hates it, doesn't belong. Just the thought makes her magic pierce another cut along her shoulder. Yet her soul is desperate for magic, for spells, and the freedom she sees in the Umbrans and the nebulae. She desperately craves for just a taste of that magic. Just one little taste. Then she would be satisfied. She takes another step forward. Her boots touch the water's edge. The crowd is gone. No one would see her step inside. The Umbrans should be far enough ahead to not catch her. No one would notice a missing Latran stray. Just a quick peek. One little peek couldn't hurt, right? Avery glances back, checking for any witnesses. The darkness of the inner sanctum greets her, but the crowd is gone. She stands alone, black magic arching with excitement. She turns her head and nearly yelps when her eyes meet the carbuncles. The nebulae she had seen before now sits above the entrance to the Den of Souls. Its dark eyes bore into hers, as if cracking her open and reading her thoughts. Its tail lightly taps the ground thoughtfully, a gentle thumping against the roots it sits on. The gemstone in its head casts the creature in a deep red light. It opens its mouth in a wide, lizard-like grin. It doesn't speak, only watches with its large, unblinking eyes. Avery swallows tightly, daring to meet its stare. Her magic sparks, piercing holes into the dirt ground and kicking up rotting leaves. Are you going to stop me? The carbuncle does not answer. I'm made to do magic. I don't care what the elders say. If anything, its toothless smile grows wider. I just need a chance. Avery clutches her arm. Just something to fix my broken magic. The nebulae remains silent. Avery scoffs. If you aren't going to stop me, then I'm going. And the carbuncle still doesn't reply. Avery clenches her fists and takes a few steps back, eyeing the width of the creek before taking a running leap. The creek isn't too wide, and she lands on the other side, but one foot slips on the muddy surface. Bits of dirt and pebbles drop into the creek, splashing water at her ankles as she spins her arms to regain her balance. She manages not to tumble into the creek, but grimaces at her wet pant legs. Now I'll use it, why not? The carbuncle almost seems to be laughing at her. Not all of us can fly, she grumbles, but her annoyance dissipates quickly when she realizes how close she is to the den's entrance. The pull of magic is so strong here, she stumbles toward it without meaning to. She glances back at the nebulae. You really aren't going to stop me? She asks. Isn't this against a lot of rules? You've already made up your mind. A soft voice echoes in her head, making her jump. The carbuncle's expression hasn't changed, but this close, she can feel its magic too. You must follow your soul, as we all must. Avery tears her eyes away from its stare, and to the yawning mouth of the cavern with its beckoning magic. She takes a breath, willing her racing heart to settle, and trying to draw her magic as close to her as possible, then charges into the cave. Oh man, that was like perfect timing with the music. Okay, that's it. That's the end of chapter 1. Or what I've written thus far. Wordy, I know. I apologize. Oh gosh. Clicking all the wrong buttons. Too long to read. Sorry, I had to. Fair. Understand. Oh gosh. I'm just gonna take a drink. That was a lot of reading. Very exciting. I didn't realize we were gonna see Landon so early. I mean, it's just sneak previews of them. They're gone for a little bit before they come back. But yeah, I like to introduce a lot of the main players, or at least that's the plan, to have a lot of the main players introduced at the beginning, so you get all of the Umbrans. But yeah, since the first draft, the story has started with a funeral. Just changing it slightly, like the details of what the funeral is like, is the main thing that's changed throughout time. That's good so far to meet. Oh, thank you! Thank you! That means a lot. Yeah. Oh gosh, I'm in the wrong thing. There we go. Yeah. So we get a little prologue, with some also major characters, and establishing Avery, the Umbrans, Taurus, and just a lot of the world and its magic and things like that. I know there's a lot of like details and stuff, but because it's a fantasy world and it's not someone that's new to the fantasy world, it is a little more difficult. I have to kind of explain things as it happens. But yeah. I do have a question. Are Femalians not bothered by others wearing Tellurian pelts? Is it just normal for them? Yeah, it's basically normal. They consider themselves completely different from Tellurians. Even though they kind of look the same, the fact that they don't produce magic, the fact that they are just animals, Vermilions don't really see themselves as animals. They only are like, yeah, I kind of look like one, but that's the only similarity in their heads. So no, it's pretty normal. In fact, some of them are just like, you want to be a Vermilion so bad, don't you? You want to be a Vermilion so bad, you're gonna wear the pelt of Tellurian to kind of look like us. They take it as a compliment. Um, but yeah, it's kind of just a way to show which clan you're in. Usually, some Vermilions will have parts of a pelt as well, just not the whole thing usually because it's too hot. But not all of them will. I see, I see. There's the ad. I ran out of snoozes. I was snoozing it as long as I could. Like, I swear, I'm near the end. I swear. Um, I'm rushing my voice a little. Eating my snicky snack. Also gotta rearrange things, so just a second. Okay, sorry. I had to like move my mic and it is loud when that happens, so I try to mute it when that happens. Yeah, any feedback y'all have for me, I would super duper appreciate it. But if not, that's totally cool. I've been staring at this for years at this point. So that's the wrong one. Hmm. I'm not allowed to pull up this file? Question. Because this one isn't open. It's throwing it off, maybe? Fix typos. Yes, yes, definitely some typos that need to be fixed. I'm not good at writing about everything myself, I feel like, in critique. No, I mean, any feedback you have is appreciated. Even if it's just like questions or anything. Like if something doesn't make sense, it makes sense in my head because I've been staring at it so long, but sometimes it doesn't actually make any sense. Or I need to make it make better sense. Something like that. Okay. Alright. I never seem to have enough monitors. Okay. I'm gonna have a... I'm gonna put it here. And hopefully that won't completely mess everything up. Hopefully. There we go. Okay, because I need my notes up. Okay, so I'm gonna work a little bit on kind of typing things together, putting notes together, and working on the setting and everything. And probably yapping about that, but yeah, if y'all have any projects you'd like to talk about that you're working on, please feel free to. It's a brainstorming time. Why are you doing it like that? There we go. So the biggest thing that I'm changing in this version of the draft is what the setting looks like. Originally, it had been like a country sort of thing, but now it's a lot more fantastical. Also, let me know if the keyboard typing is annoying. I know I can be loud when I do it. Wish I had larger stuff, but not really much besides trying to come up with backgrounds for the characters that are part of my bat amalgam. And I have one. That's still something to work on, man. Doesn't have to be a big thing. What do you got so far? Actually, let me look at it again to refresh my memory, which is bad, as we've all well established. Okay. Blue wolf, plague doctor, crow, skull-headed deer, hyena, and a protogen axolotl. I see, I see. Did you want to share what you have for the skull deer? Creature primarily made of snow, hence the white limbs covered in dirt and small rocks. He lived in a very cold mountainous area commonly hiked, basically becoming a real cryptid. He became a cryptid before he got became part of the bat. A lot of hikers would see him in the distance, or as a silhouette in the snowstorm. Really true interactions before becoming part of the amalgam was those hikers, specifically ones in peril due to lack of preparation for the elements or their complications like injuries. With him trying his best to lead them back to safety or anyone else nearby uh, from a distance or physically dragging unconscious or heavily injured people near others for help. Huh. Interesting, interesting. Also kind of organizing things. Some of these are already written. Theme used in Obsidian is very easy on the eyes. This is a mixture of the Wizards of the Coast theme. It's an ITC theme or something like that. And also I think the blue I think there's a blue variant. Yeah, it's an ITS theme. So it's the Wizard of the Coast and Beyond theme. And then I added an accent color. I made it blue. And that's all. That's all I did. I really like using the Wizard of the Coast. It feels wrong at this point to not use that one. That's what I used for D&D. That one's red. The one for streaming is green. This one is blue. The only time he would genuinely reveal himself was to those significantly too far gone, trying his best to comfort them in their final moments any way he could, such as oftentimes pretending to be an angel or a spirit. Oh. Also, eventually dragging their body back to somewhere they would easily be found. Oh man, he sounds so nice. The main reason he lived like this is due to being extremely afraid people would be very, very scared of a jawless skull deer leaking black liquid from their eyes. That's fair, you know? I can't say I wouldn't be. And, oh, exactly, yep. Oh, what? What's happening? As part of the amalgam, he is kind of forced to interact with more people, but is still the most antisocial and introverted of them, and that is saying a lot. Oh boy. So most of them don't like interacting with people, I guess. Okay. My old Sona is part of it, and that is me. And I am very introverted. Fair, fair. In fact, the idea of a creature made of snow is one I got from an analog horror I think was supposed to be partly a joke. Inspiration comes from everywhere, honestly. That's why I'm always like, I'm not coming up with ideas. I need to consume more things, more media, more movies, more shows, more games, more books, because that's where your ideas come from. Because nothing is original. Need to find. Nope. Y'all don't get to see that. I can say where the other guys in it came from, what scrap ideas they were. Sure. Hi, the Shadow Legion. The Shadow Legion. Oh my gosh. What program is this? This is Obsidian. With lots of styles and themes put on it. Also realizing it's like... That's it. I'm trying to make this longer. I thought Alt was the button to do that. Apparently I'm wrong. Maybe that's just because of... Okay, yeah, we'll do that. We'll just do that. It's not getting cut off, it's in the middle. Protogen Axolotl, Old Sona, self-explanatory, Plague Dr. Crow, a classic idea I really like, but just never really realized fully. Blue Wolf for my Parasite character instead of a fox. An original idea was to pick the most generic Sona possible as the host, partly because I didn't want him to look like anyone's specific Sona, to be honest. That's fair, that's fair. Going on a plane tomorrow for 5 hours, so I'm trying to find a free program to download to even write a book in. Oh, nice! What kind of book? What's it about? If you want to share. We're brainstorming, world building, that sort of stuff, writing, all working together. But yeah, I highly recommend Obsidian. I like it a lot. Ooh, fantasy. I recommend LibreOffice if you want that word feel without the Microsoft badge. I agree. Ditto to that. I've used those in the past. I was thinking assassin. Ooh. An assassin story. Hyena, old species from my very evil mimic, who is now a moth, because of how they are generally portrayed and their laughter. I see, I see. Skull deer, same as crow, good idea. I had just didn't fully realize. I see. That's cool. Do you know how they all became one thing? at this point, or still brainstorming that? And the bat, I think I just kind of wanted a bat. I was probably not going to do it otherwise. Fair, fair. Basic idea, but it technically differs slightly from the original fusion of two of them versus others after. I just find it's easier to do things like this because then when I'm trying to remember things, I don't have to read through a whole chapter to remember what I had established in the lore. I can just look at this thing. Like the main character is an assassin. She falls in love with another higher up assassin. Ooh. But in her keep, romance is forbidden. Forbidden love. Sorry, I said that in just Three Musketeers. Anyway, and basically a new woman comes in. He falls in love with her instead, but things happen, and the main character is getting blamed for it. If that makes any sense. Ooh, the drama. But it was the new woman all along. Maybe, or it's a complicated love triangle. Though a true love triangle, the woman would like the new woman would like the old woman. I think. Uh, I think. Hours. Yeah, that makes sense. That sounds cool. 60. Basically, the guy gets killed by the. Oh no! The guy gets killed by the new woman, and MC took the blame and gets exiled. Oh no! That's not where I thought this was going. Oh my gosh! Ads. Oh no! I can wait. I'll type in the meantime. Darkstream currents. Don't think I had really decided what that was going to be. So I guess I'm deciding now. Okay. There's the darkness seems. The original being the bat and why he is the main body, basically, best I can describe, is the world slowly falling apart around you into complete nothingness. Then feeling multiple limbs painfully severed clean from your body, and one of your eyes being forcibly gouged out, and then waking up in the new glitch body right where there you were, like nothing happened besides the new form. Oh. Oh no. Oh gosh. Oh, welcome, chicken. We're brainstorming, we're world building, and we're writing. And we're talking about any projects that we've got going on. Okay, welcome back, Shadow Legion. I was saying that I was not expecting the new woman to kill the guy. Oh gosh. Very fun, very fun. Rivers, just period. Rivers. Might change it. Nah, kill people. Don't let that stop you. That's your power. That's your gift as an author. Kill them. Kill them. Kill them all. I'm resting. I'm sick. Oh no! I have a stacked work week next week with only 1 day off. Oh! Yes, definitely rest a lot. I'm sorry, chicken. I'm sick and having a bad time. So sorry. Woman has a power that can control blood. Ooh. Let me a good blood controlling power. I've seen a lot of that lately, which is really cool, and everyone should do it, because it's really cool. So her blood was at the scene of the crime. Wait, the new woman or the old woman? No. Ah, I see, I see. It's also just me and the one girl today, so yeah. Oh, you were sick and you were working and overworking and oh, I'm so sorry. For the others who joined the amalgam, first part is the same. Instead of any bodily harm, just imagine multiple other people's memories being forcibly shoved into your brain, waking up in a body not entirely your own, and having to share it with multiple other people. Not fun. So something just happened. Just something happened. Oh boy. She drained the blood from their bodies. Oh gosh. Oh right, you did say this was fantasy. I forgot. I don't know how I forgot. Okay, cool. Is she the only one with powers, or are there going to be lots of different powers? Something changed. Something happened. She asked me to join some club with her and kept leaning in towards me as always with refitted. Ah, tried showing me TikTok. If I didn't take a step back, she would be leaning right on me. I just want personal space today. Did you at least cough on her? Sorry, that was rude. That was mean. I don't know, but I'm going to eat now. Okie dokie. Eat some good foods. The easiest way to describe it is you were taken without further explanation. Mm, I resisted somehow. You were good. Well, if she gets sick from being in your personal space, that's on her. That's not your fault. She should mind people's personal space. Super sweet note. The operator popped by for like not even 5 minutes and bought me like 3 different medicines. Aw, that is super sweet. I'll make that later. Mm-hmm. It's nice. I like her a lot as a coworker. Oh, that's good. Change this like 15 times. Say what I was working on. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm finally getting started on some character designs for that game I was talking about. Ooh. Do you want to talk about that, Roll? You can keep secrets if you want. I'll just be sad. No, I'm kidding. I'll just be sad. I'm glad you're able to get started on it. I know you were talking about it during your fight that's what you were going to work on next. Yep, but it's going to be a tactics game. I'll be using two of my D&D characters as half the party, though since they're Pokemon, I need to create completely new designs. So that's what I'm doing now. Ooh. I'm excited to see what you come up with. You always come up with very creative designs, so I'm excited. I'm excited. Pretty excited. My plan is to get a decent prototype ready by March, which is about 7 months, so I think that should be achievable. Yeah, that seems realistic to me. I think that's the hardest part with like creative stuff is coming up with a realistic timeline. Making a bat. Ooh. I think I will have a mechanic where characters will morph and become stronger throughout the story. For the bat guy, I think he'll start as a fairly normal bat until he becomes a dragon with hand wings. Like a wyvern? or additional legs. He'll grow another pair of legs. Guess you could say he starts as a wyvern. I see. I think that's a fun play on the bat, and then turning him into a drag. That's cool. I like that. Hmm. Need a name for the main area that they're in. to have some names of places so I can refer back to it. I'm trying to come up with locations that I will need because I know what's going to happen. So, like in book 2, we're gonna look more at the Luke clan a little bit because we're gonna be introduced to Talon, and that's where she is. So we need some areas that are named there. Latran is where Avery's from, so we may at some point stop by Wanderer's Valley. So things like that. I've already told myself that the next story I tell will have nothing to do with stars. Scribbles has stuff to do with stars. My D&D story has a lot to do with stars and also crystals. This story has a lot to do with stars. The next one will have nothing to do with stars. I don't know what it'll have to do, but it will have nothing to do with stars. Break from stars. Space is cool. It is cool. That's why I'm writing a million stories about it. I don't think we'll ever go to the Nictor location, to be completely honest. But I'd like to have at least one name in mind. think I'll go. Getting very eepy. Enjoy the rest of the stream. Scribbles. Very cool to get a sneak peek into your story. Oh, thank you, Zombie. I'm glad you enjoyed. Have a good night. Get good eep. Very good eeps. But yeah, I'll see ya. I'll see you later. Have a good night. Good rest. I'll probably go for another half an hour, probably, and then wrap it up. Come up with a name. I know that we never really go around these areas, but I'm still gonna make some names up, just in case I need them. Um, um, some of these probably will just never exist, but it's fine. Not entirely, but enough. Okay. I think we made some pretty good progress, but I think I'm gonna have to stop here with this one. I think next time I'll probably work. Uh, it'll probably be on Discord, and it'll probably be me just straight up writing. Um, we'll see. Um, but I think I made some progress. I organized a lot of things that needed to be organized because it makes it easier to write when I can more easily see where everything is. And it's a mess right now. I will admit that all my stuff is a mess, so I've got to fix all of that. um, yeah, I think that works out pretty well. And maybe one day I'll put a image there so you can actually kind of see it a little bit while I'm working on that. Yeah, let me go over here. There we go. This was a long stream, and this was a different stream, but I very much enjoyed it. I loved hanging out with y'all and being able to talk about kind of plans going forward with stream, talking about art fight attacks, talking about being able to read part of my story and talk to you about the story, and then talk with y'all about the projects you're working on as well. It was a lot of fun, a lot of world building, a lot of brainstorming and things like that, and I really enjoyed this. I don't know if y'all enjoyed it, but I definitely did enjoy it. I will probably see how it goes doing something like this on Discord, maybe in 2 weeks, because this coming week I'm playing D&D, so I won't have time. Uh, and I'd like to take like weekly breaks on it anyway, and see what I can do on my own. But yeah, I think we made some pretty good progress with all of this, and I really hope you enjoyed some sneak previews of what is to come with the story. I'm hoping to make some actual real progress with stream and with my writing as well. I want to get this story told. I want to get it up and off the ground, and that starts with me actually putting some time and effort into it. So y'all hold me accountable. Yell at me if I haven't made progress. I have not finished the stream schedule yet, but I should be posting it by the end of the day tomorrow. But right now it's looking like I know we're doing on Monday the special doodle request day, so have your research funds ready. And I'll be doing doodle requests and only doodle requests. So whatever it is that y'all want me to draw within reason, whatever you want me to draw, um, I'll be doing on Monday. On Wednesday, we'll be working on some merch, probably some merch art, and then on Friday, I'll be gaming. It's looking like it'll be Hollow Knight, probably that I'll be playing, but I gotta look at some stuff. So we'll see. But that is kind of the rough plan for next week, and it should be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I do upload the stream schedule by the end of the day on Sundays, usually. Let me switch over to our end screen, and thank you all so much for hanging out. Let us find somebody to raid. They're gonna be so confused by my category because it makes no dang sense, but it's fine. Who's doing art tonight? Mm-hmm. Here. Okie dokie. I think I'm gonna send y'all over to Juniper Whitney. I don't know who this person is, but we're gonna rate them. They're working on art. So let's show some support for art. Here's our raid message. If you'd like to use that when we raid, please feel free to. Thank you all so much for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you were able to get some ideas, maybe some work done, maybe some art done, or whatever other projects you were working on. Make some progress, get some ideas, maybe have a eureka moment. I don't know. What have you, but hopefully you had a good time. I had a great time with y'all. So always enjoy it, but definitely a very, very fun stream, in my opinion. But yeah, I will be back on Monday for special Doodle Request Day stream. So look forward to that. But yeah, other than that, I'll see you Monday. Bye! Scribbles Raid!